You're watching The Penny Hardaway Show, presented by Cook's Pest Control.
Growing up in Memphis shaped how Penny Hardaway views life outside of basketball, how he's teaching that to his players, plus the story behind Lester's tattoos. That's all coming up tonight on The Penny Hardaway Show.
The game is on.
The Penny Hardaway Show is presented by Cook's Pest Control. You don't have to live with pests. Call Cook's Pest Control and get a free quote today. Conway Services, the official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Tiger Bookstore, the official merchandiser for Tiger Athletics. AutoZone, when you've got car trouble, you want help from number one. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And is supported by your Memphis area Toyota dealers.
After a long road trip, it's always good to get home in FedEx Forum. Well, that was sweet. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Woloshin.
And I'm Cassie Carlson. Let's take a look back at the highlights from Temple and Wichita State.
Penny Hardaway has a new motto: no March Madness without February success, as the Tigers make the final push for the NCAA tournament. Starting with Temple for the first of two straight home games at the Forum, Jalen Duren came to play off a Landers Nolly miss. He's there for the rebound and putback dunk. Duren then showing off his baseline move, spin to the rim, he gets another bucket. Catches the alley-oop lob then from Tyler Harris for another throwdown. Shortest to tallest, that connection is just seamless. DeAndre Williams driving, gets to the hoop, he finishes with 19 points, then sets up this play too. Off a defensive rebound, Williams assists Duren with the pass in the paint for the dunk. Duren goes off, tying his career high with 22 points. In the second half, Lester Quinones spots up for a triple. He goes off for 9. Nolly looking healthy as he puts up 12 on the night as Memphis holds off Temple, final 78-64. Then comes Wichita State, a team Memphis beat on the road early in conference play. Landers Nolly couldn't be stopped, pulling up for a mid-range jumper, that one just setting the tone. Then open, off the kick out and pass from Lester Quinones. On the wing, he hits the three. He starts 5 of 5 from the field. Jalen Duren coming off that 22-point performance, being a huge presence inside again, finishing in the paint and drawing the foul to go to the line. DeAndre Williams on the fast break goes right between two defenders, under, up, and in to get to the rim. Memphis' offense rolling. Quinones gets in on the fun, fires off one from the corner. The Tigers shooting 50% from three. Nolly was lights out, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, leading all scorers with 22 points. The Tigers defense holding Wichita State to just 15% shooting in the first half. Off a rebound, the long feed to Williams with authority. DeAndre scores 12. This was a cakewalk for Memphis, taking down Wichita State 81-57 final. The Tigers winning 8 out of their last 9 conference games. This week's outstanding performance goes to Landers Nolly. Shots were dropping all week, combining for 34 points, hitting 6 of 10 from three-point land while also getting 2 steals on defense. The defensive player of the week goes to the big man, Jalen Duren. Duren blocking shots left and right, 6 of them over 2 games, adding to his 5 steals. Giving back to Memphis is important to Penny Hardaway. Let's hear how he shows love to his hometown and program.
Coach, we know that the college experience is more than playing, and it's more than even going to class. There's a thing about the cultural aspect and learning to give back and what's important in the community. Go way back in your head and Larry Finch. And where did you guys go? What was the first thing community-minded you were taught?
Well, Coach Finch, being from Memphis, being from the Orange Mound community, was always big about giving back to our community because he was Memphis. So for us, we used to go to the elementary schools and read books to the kids. And it used to be fun for us to go out and then get the warm welcome and then have fun with all the kids while we were reading.
You're heavily involved in coaching for literacy. Why is that such an important cause to you?
Well, it's important because a lot of the kids don't get the proper reading, you know, at the proper ages. And for the coaches, we're coming together because we understand how important reading is in life.
So as the Tigers go, what are some of the favorite community things that you like to do here?
Yeah, it's reading. You know, we go back and we get into the community and read. We go back to the elementary schools. The Boys and Girls Clubs are a part of what we do because we know how important it is for us to be out in the community.
When you go to those Boys and Girls Clubs, when you read to young kids, what's the reaction you see on their faces that gives you that pride?
Well, first they see the height And then they're very excited about that. And then secondly, the pride about it is that you're giving back to your community.
You also have been involved in like building courts in your old neighborhood and things of that nature. What's that like? How did that begin?
No, it's great because that's where I'm from. I'm from the Binghamton area. And when I have these projects to be able to do for my community, Binghamton is one of the areas where I want to do things at because that's where I was born. So it gives me pleasure to understand that I was there as a kid and grew up there and I'm able to give back.
When you were a kid, do you remember anything like that happening to you that kind of changed maybe your course or gave you an opportunity?
I think just me growing up in the Binghamton area and seeing how hard everyone worked is what drove me to want to be better. I never saw it, things being done in my neighborhood, but I wanted to do it for my neighborhood as I grew older.
Of your players, who's grasped these concepts the most, that's wanted to really help?
I think Alex Lomax. I think he gets it. I think from being around me for 10 years, he understands because when we were in Leicester Middle School, when we were at East High School, we did community service things to give back to the community, and he wants to be a part of that, being from Memphis.
I know Alex Lomax, you also have a special relationship with him because of being his coach for so long, and you kind of helped him too. What was that story?
Well, I met him in 6th grade at Leicester Community Center, and I kind of took him under my wing because he was a very inquisitive kid. You could tell that he was going to be a good basketball player, but he was an even better kid, so I wanted to make sure that he stayed on the right path and lead him in the right direction.
Now, there's a lot of pressure on these student athletes, not just in your sport. And the American Athletic Conference has this new initiative called Powerful Minds. It's all about mental health. How much depression or anxiety is there in student athletes today?
No, mental health is real. There's a ton. A lot of kids are afraid to talk about it. You have to kind of pry it out of them, but they kind of go into their own shells and start thinking about things in a negative fashion, and then they get down and you try to pep them up and try to figure out what's going on, but you have to really dig because it's kind of embarrassing to them to be there, but you have to continue to just lead as the leader and just kind of let them know that you love them and that anything that they need to talk about, they can come to me and talk about.
Have you found that over time they've opened up a little bit more and realized that it is okay to share those feelings and to seek help?
Yeah, for sure, because my office is always open. I tell the kids to come up, and you'll get guys to come up all the time and just want to talk about life. Because, it's not just about basketball here. I have to be a leader in all areas, so they start to open up when I tell them to come up and talk.
Is there a sort of a network set up to help these guys, that you'd have places if somebody was really in need that you could direct them to?
For sure. When we have our coaches meetings on campus, they give us all the information for mental health and things of that nature, and they give us numbers and places for the kids to go to get help. First, we try to help them, and then we put them in professional hands as well.
I know we've talked before, and you said you kind of grade yourself on a coach on how these players develop into men. So when you see them giving back and impacting young kids, what does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good because it lets me know that I'm doing my job. Because I'm here to be an influence, not just for basketball, but for life. Because you're gonna be in life longer than you're gonna be in basketball. So to have these guys' heads on straight when it comes to giving back is definitely something that I love.
That's interesting because I remember you were always interested in your teammates as a player. So when you go into coaching, was it a lot of beyond basketball help that you wanted to be a part of?
Well, I knew I had to wear a lot of hats. And I knew it wasn't just going to be basketball because realistically, everyone's not going to make the NBA, but everyone's going to have to experience life. And my job was to not just do the basketball side, but to do the off the court side, whether someone wants to get into business or whether someone wants to build relationships with our donors, to put them in position to be successful.
From his air guitar celebration to his short shorts and his tattoos, Lester Quinones shares his story right after this.
You're watching The Penny Hardaway Show, presented by Cook's Pest Control.
Lester Quinones is a quiet leader on the court, but one way he expresses himself off the court is through ink.
Inside Access is presented by Memphis Toyota Dealers.
Lester Quinones is called an adopted son of Memphis. Despite being from New York, he's beloved in the Bluff City.
The game goes on. Quinones driving. Quinones fouled. A chance for three for Lester Quinones.
With myself being I wouldn't say a favorite, but a lot of fans, every fan that comes up to me kind of says I'm their favorite. So it's just a bunch of love, and it's just great to just be that guy where it's really not that much hate. It's all love really for me.
Fans love him for his signature rolled-up short shorts, a look he started in high school.
I used to wear the compressions where it was PSD, So like those are like all the funky colors and everything. So I started off like just rolling my shorts to kind of show those off a little bit. Then I'll match them with the shoes a little bit. But then when I got here, I think it was the first game I did it, I just rolled them up regular. And then the fans just loved it, so it's like I just stuck with it. It just stuck with me.
And his guitar strum celebration every time he hits a three.
Quinones will get it off for three, and he knocks it down! String music for Lester Quinones.
Isaiah Maurice, my freshman year, like I remember on my visit I came when they were playing UCF in the conference tournament. And he had hit a couple threes and then he had did it. So I looked at it and I'm like, okay, I like that. That looks like a little smooth. So when I started to do it, like I said, I did it a couple times, but then it just stuck with me. The fans loved it, so I had to just keep on doing it.
One of the fastest ways to learn Lester's story is through his tattoos.
What sparked your interest in tattoos?
Definitely not the pain. The pain is like the worst part. It hurts every single time, but really, like I said, just growing up as a kid, just always being into art and stuff, and just being able to have somebody with like the talent and skill to just take a picture and put it on you and it just be there for the rest of your life. It's just kind of amazing to me.
Growing up, Quinones expressed his creativity through drawing and painting. Now, it's through ink.
All the artists are kind of different. So like if I see a tattoo and I look at it, I'm like, I like it. I do put my little twist to it. It's kind of like with this one. Like I didn't expect it to come out like this because it was supposed to be like a killer's kill tattoo. And it was supposed to have like a little bit of words and kind of knife going through it. But when I went to the artist, he had told me he doesn't want to just copy the tattoo. I showed him identically. So then he kind of just freestyled it a little bit. That's where he added all these little like shapes and stuff like that to kind of blend it together. Yeah, I kind of just let them really I just trust the artist that I go to really freestyle it for real once I give them the concept.
Quinones came to Memphis in 2019 with a blank canvas.
This one on my left arm was my first tattoo. It's the Bible's right here. Then I have no weapon formed against me shall prosper. That's Isaiah 54:17 in scripture. Then doves across a rose. Then I have another scripture here. Then the basketball kind of symbolizes like the sun a little bit. And it's like beams going into it. So this was my first one. It had to be something kind of religious for my mom, really.
Your leg tattoos, they're all civil rights activists, correct?
Yeah, Malcolm X and then Martin Luther King. I started with those two and then kind of had the march in Memphis, actually, at the bottom part of it. And then I just added Michael Jackson to it because like kind of growing up, I mean, who didn't love Michael Jackson growing up? I think I was him for Halloween probably like 4 years in a row.
So if someone were looking at you and looking at your tattoos, what kind of story would it tell?
Now that I'm starting to get more and stuff, I'm not consistent with the spots. So it's like I got it all over the place. So this side is really like, kind of like a lighter side showing the scriptures and stuff. Got my grandmother over here. Then this clock is kind of, I didn't end up finishing it because it hurt so bad, but it was supposed to be like a clock and it's supposed to say time heals all wounds over the top. That's why the eye has a tear in the middle. Then kind of like a quote going down. But once he finished like this part, I was like, I'll just get it another time. It was hurting too bad. But yeah, this kind of like my lighter side, like happy side really. And then I over here portray more like, I wouldn't say a dark side, but it's like, to just show a little bit. Like I said, this is like a killer's kill tattoo. So just going out on the court, being a killer and stuff. Then I came in and got the Joker in here. That's probably one of my all-time favorite movies. And here it says shed blood to succeed in there. Then on the outside, I have a chest piece. Honestly, this might be the only tattoo that I got that really doesn't have meaning like that. Cause it was kind of, I got in here, then got there, then it was like, I saw like a chess piece one time on somebody where it was like small, but then I was like, I like that. I used to play chess a little bit, so I just put it on there really. And it kind of just fit in, so. This one really probably, yeah, that one don't have too much meaning.
Now he's always thinking about what story he'll put in ink next.
Yeah, I might go inside here next. And I think I'm gonna get, since I'm from Long Island, I'm gonna try to get like the Statue of Liberty in here, then kind of like the out shape of it, and really just go in there and this be like my hometown portrait for real on the inside.
Inside Access is presented by Memphis Toyota Dealers.
Coach, we see the rolled up short shorts, we see the guitar strum, but there's a lot more to Lester Quinones.
For sure, he's really a beautiful kid. He just, he came to Memphis from New York and he became a part of our community right away. He just bought in from the very beginning and everything that he does is for our community for sure.
I think you called him an adopted son to Memphis. For someone to come in from New York in a different place and such a Memphis team, is that difficult, or how did he make it so seamless for himself?
I think what helped him was he bought in right away to the community. First of all, he was roommates with Alo. So Alo kind of took him around the city, and the city kind of told him what they expected. And like I said, he was a part of it right away, like an adopted son for sure, because he represents the 901 really well.
On the court, what we remembered as a recruit was the kid was a lights-out shooter. But wow, has he ever developed? He's your best perimeter defender. You put him on the best guard most of the time, and he's developed an all-around game.
Yeah, the biggest thing about him is that he doesn't miss practices. He's all in from the beginning. He doesn't take practices off and just play games. So that's big within itself if you know coaching. Secondly, in the games, he's going to take on the task of the best player on the other team and have to knock down shots for us every night.
I feel like he's kind of like the quiet but consistent player. You know, you talk about his defense, that's so important for you guys, but also just his scoring. It's not always the biggest number, but when he's consistent, it makes you guys so much better.
Yeah, for sure. You know, he's playing really well this year because he gets in the gym at 6 a.m. in the morning, and he comes back again before practice and stays after practice. He's really on a mission, so it doesn't shock me how he's playing, but he is the silent assassin in understanding everything that we need and doing it at a high level.
So if you describe his leadership capabilities, is it more, like you say, quiet and follow me, or does he get vocal?
No, it's more quiet and follow me. He does it with action. I'd rather him do it with action instead of talking, so show me the action.
He was a player that people thought, you know, he might leave, but he decided to stay and stick it out. Any conversations you had with him to kind of help him make that decision?
I don't think Lester's ever had, in my mind, the thought of leaving. And I think that was kind of embarrassing to him because I spoke to him about it last year, and he was like, it never came out of my mouth. So for him, he doesn't want the city of Memphis to think that he's not all in, but for him, he's just a guy that just wants to win.
Only 2 more games left before the conference tournament. Penny Hardaway previews them right after this.
You're watching the Penny Hardaway Show, presented by Cook's Pest Control. Let's take a look at the AutoZone road ahead.
Coach, I just can't believe how fast this year has gone by. There have been twists and turns, but here we are. South Florida on a late Thursday night, and then Houston again on an early Sunday morning.
Yeah, we look forward to the Tampa trip. South Florida is really a tough place to play, but we've had success there, and we look forward to that. And then obviously back home, hopefully the FedEx Forum is jam-packed against Houston.
What do you remember about the first Houston matchup and what you need to do to take away their weapons and to pull out another win?
Well, we understood getting over the hump. We didn't want any more moral victories, and we went into Houston to fight, and we won a big game. So we know them coming here, they didn't get a chance to come here last year like we needed them to, but them coming here is going to be another battle, another fight.
And I think that's exactly what prepares you for the American tournament, because the odds are you'll see them again.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Houston is one of the tougher teams, so if we continue to win, we know that they're going to continue to win. We'll see them again.
That was tonight's AutoZone Road Ahead. AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination and official sponsor of Tiger Athletics. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Just a reminder, that game in Tampa on Thursday, late night, 8 o'clock Memphis time, and get up early Sunday. We play the Cougars at 11 o'clock. Back in a minute to wrap this thing up.
You're watching the Penny Hardaway Show, presented by Cook's Pest Control.
Thanks so much for joining us. Next week, we'll talk about the American Athletic Conference Tournament. Have a great week, everybody.
The Penny Hardaway Show is presented by Cook's Pest Control. You don't have to live with pests. Call Cook's Pest Control and get a free quote today. Conway Services, the official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Tiger Bookstore, the official merchandiser for Tiger Athletics. AutoZone. When you've got car trouble, you want help from #1. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And is supported by your Memphis area Toyota dealers.
The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the University of Memphis Sports Network. This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Memphis. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Memphis and Learfield.